What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, I want to go over the results to the Green Mountain Championships. This tournament is near and dear to my heart. This is in the state in which I'm from, Vermont. I've seen these places, I've been to these courses, and it's really cool to see these guys tear up some of the hardest courses in the state. So on the final card, we had Kevin Jones, Eagle McMahon, Paul McBeth, and Calvin Heimberg. We had Calvin Heimberg mic'd up for the round, which is always fun. We get to see a little bit of the human side of Calvin Heimberg with him being mic'd up. So we get to hear some of the, the funny things he says, or, hear those frustrations, or hear some of the comments on other players' shots. And it's a really good thing to do to have some of the players mic'd up. I think that adds another element of entertainment to the coverage. So we had Eagle, McBeth, and Jones all battling. Ultimately, down to the wire, it was really up to Paul McBeth and Kevin Jones. It was up to really Kevin Jones to lose this event going into the last few holes. He had a 3-stroke lead with 3 holes to go, so Paul McBeth's going to need to make up, a stroke per hole, which when you find yourself that deep in the woods off the fairway, it's not going to be an easy task for you. So Kevin Jones finds himself in a really good place, and we haven't seen Kevin Jones win many big tournaments as of the last few years. We definitely haven't seen him win a Pro Tour event in a long time. So I think it's really big for Kevin Jones, and also even greater than that, Team Prodigy as well. And I think Prodigy, when they first came out, they had a lot of the top players in the world, and Prodigy's, brand was on the front side of, being unanimous for winning events or being notorious for winning events. And then they started to lose all their pros to the other manufacturers. And, now that they have Kevin Jones and Katrina Allen out winning events and competing at the highest level and beating the best players in the world, Prodigy's really climbing their way back up the ranks. And obviously they have Chris Dickerson as well, who is an absolute beast. He was actually in a chase for the win for a while, but then he wound up going OB like 3 times on one hole, and that was fine. He wound up with a quadruple bogey that kind of knocked him out of the event. And then Calvin Heimberg didn't have the greatest final round, as we can see him strike that first tree on the right either. He's not happy about that. You can just tell body language and demeanor. He's out there to win, and if he's not going to win, he's probably not very happy. But back to Kevin Jones, Team Prodigy. Kevin, obviously, he's already mentally celebrating. You can tell that he's just happy. He's trying to stay poised. You still need to focus up and close it out, because a major error could lose you the tournament. But right now he's in the driver's seat. And after this Paul McBeth shot, we will go over to the results page, and we'll go over the women's results as well. So let's just have a look at this McBeth shot here. So Paul was definitely hoping that was going to turn over. So another errant shot for McBeth. He's not happy. All in all, though, Paul played really well, and I still think Paul's sort of getting used to having a healthy ankle, or healthy-ish. So here's the results. We have Kevin Jones here. We're going to pull up Kevin Jones PDGA right here. So let's go to his wins. Let's see what tournaments has he actually won. So he did win the Mid-America Open. He did win the Majestic, so 2 A-tier wins just this year. And then he also got a couple B-tier wins. And then really, if Kevin Jones shows up to a C-tier, he should just win anyway. So he should always win those. Any touring pro who shows up to a C-tier should win. So we won't count that. So he won a couple B-tiers, won a couple A-tiers, and now won the GMC, which is absolutely huge. Great for Kevin Jones. That's very exciting. He shot the course record in, I believe, this round, in round 3. I think he shot the course record. It could have been round 2. But either way, both these rounds were absolutely ridiculous. So he didn't shoot that great in rounds 1 and 4, but they were good enough. And then he absolutely tore up rounds 2 and 3. And that's one of the things about these 4-round tournaments, is not every round has to be a prolific round. You can have just nice consistency, and then 2 heater rounds, and you can really be in the fight for the win. So now let's just go down. We'll talk about the women just for a quick second. Standout performance, obviously, aside from the winner, Paige Pierce, because Paige Pierce was not in first place going into the last round. She was down by 2 strokes. Haley King actually was really looking like she was in the driver's seat of this event. And I think we can see that these two were the very obvious standouts of the event here. So Paige at -10, Haley King at 8 under par, and then the rest of the field was just far, far back. So let's just focus on these two for now because these two were battling for the win. Haley King is one of the youngest female touring pros, if not the youngest, and she's Elaine King's daughter. She grew up around disc golf, knowing disc golf culture. Her mom is an excellent disc golfer, so she's taking after in her mom's footsteps. And it really looked like she was going to win this event. It was her event to win. She had a lead going into the last round, and then Paige came out, shot a heater, 10:37. Not much you can do to stop that. It's not, I mean, a lot of the male pros aren't coming out and shooting a 10:37 rated round, let alone the female field. So Haley King put up a good effort. She shot a 60, which was absolutely crazy as well. Over 1,000 rated rounds, so good. Really exciting stuff. It came down to the wire in both fields. Obviously MPO was pretty much locked up with 3 holes to go, but the women was a battle as well. I'm really excited to see what Haley King can continue doing to continue getting better. Hopefully she continues to get coached by, her family and as well as some of the other pros on the Discraft team. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it in the comment section down below. If you would like to play in Vermont, we'll leave that down there as well. I want to hear what you guys think about my home state, and if you think it looks like a fun place to play. Thank you for watching. This is Iceberg TV, and take care.